It begins with one soft landing at your window, so ordinary you almost miss it. Then the same bird returns again and again until the visit feels less random and more like a routine. Welcome to the Pigeon Mind. Today, we uncover why one pigeon may remember your window for months. It usually starts as something small, a pigeon landing on your windowsill one quiet morning. You barely notice it at first, just another gray bird passing through your day. But then it comes back the next morning, and again the morning after that. Soon you realize, with a strange little jolt, that this bird keeps returning to you. Same window, same ledge, often the very same hour of the early day. It sits there calmly, looking in, as if it genuinely belongs right where it is. And a quiet question begins to form: is this really the same bird every time? Could a single pigeon actually remember your one particular window out of an entire city? It feels almost too personal, too deliberate for such an ordinary little street bird. Yet the pattern is unmistakable, and it repeats far too often to be mere chance. So what is actually happening behind that calm and familiar face at your glass? The answer reveals something remarkable about memory, place, and the hidden order of a city. Biologists have a name for this behavior, and they simply call it sight fidelity. Sight fidelity means a strong attachment to one specific and familiar place over time. Many birds show it, returning faithfully to the same nests, ledges, and feeding grounds. For a city pigeon, a reliable spot is genuinely worth remembering and defending. A good ledge offers shelter, safety, and often a dependable nearby source of food. Once a pigeon finds such a place, it has every reason to keep coming back. Your windowsill may simply be the best small piece of real estate it knows. Maybe it is sheltered from the wind or warmed by the sun each morning. Maybe it offers a clear, safe view of the street and sky all around. Or maybe, at some lucky point in the past, it simply found a little food waiting nearby. Whatever the reason behind it, that spot quietly earned a place in the bird's careful mental map. And pigeons, as it turns out, build truly impressive mental maps of their world. This loyalty to a place is not sentiment, but a smart survival strategy. A known place is a safe place, and safety is everything for a small bird. To return so reliably, a pigeon needs a genuinely excellent memory for places. And research shows that pigeons have a spatial memory far better than we assume. They can memorize hundreds of distinct locations and recall them accurately for a long time. A pigeon's brain devotes real resources to mapping and remembering the space around it. It learns landmarks, the shapes of buildings, the angles of streets, the patterns of rooftops. Your window has its own signature, its color, its shape, its place in the skyline. To the pigeon, that signature is as clear as a street sign is to you. It does not get lost in the city, the way an unfamiliar human easily might. It holds a working map of feeding spots, roosts, dangers, and trusted resting ledges. Your sill sits on that map, marked clearly as a safe and rewarding stop. This is why it returns so precisely, not by luck, but by careful memory. The same bird, threading the same path to the same ledge day after day. Its memory of your window may genuinely last for many months, or even years. Few people realize that such a small head holds such a detailed and lasting map. This place memory connects to one of the pigeon's most famous and astonishing gifts. Pigeons are legendary navigators, able to find their way home across vast unknown distances. For thousands of years, humans relied on homing pigeons to carry urgent messages over great distances. Released far from home, a homing pigeon reliably finds its way back to its loft. Scientists still openly debate exactly how these birds pull off such an incredible navigational feat. They seem to use the sun as a kind of moving compass across the daytime sky. They may also sense the Earth's magnetic field as a hidden guiding force. They read familiar landmarks, follow roads and rivers, and even use remembered smells. All these senses combine into a navigation system we still do not fully understand. The bird at your window carries a faint version of that same remarkable ability. Finding your specific window is a small and easy task for such a navigator. What feels miraculous to us is simply an ordinary commute for this little bird. It knows where your window is, the way you know your own front door. So the daily visit is really the tail end of an ancient navigational instinct. You may also notice that the bird arrives at strikingly regular times each day. Pigeons have a strong internal clock, finely tuned to the daily rhythm of light. They learn exactly when and where food and warmth reliably tend to appear. If you once fed it in the morning, it will return each morning expecting more. This learned timing is the same association that shapes so much animal behavior. A reliable daily routine lets the bird spend far less energy endlessly searching and guessing. Knowing where to be and when is a quiet but powerful survival advantage. So your window becomes a fixed point in the bird's carefully ordered daily schedule. It may visit between other stops, a roost, a feeding ground, a favorite perch. You are simply one reliable waypoint on a familiar and well-practiced circuit. This is why the visits feel so dependable, almost like a small daily appointment. But it is not affection or longing or any wish to keep you company. It is a practical animal, efficiently working a route that reliably pays off. Still, within that routine, you have quietly become part of its known world. You may also notice that the visits gently shift with the changing seasons. In cold winter months, your warm ledge becomes far more precious to the bird. It may linger much longer, pressed against the warm glass, escaping the bitter chill. On rainy days, your sheltered sill may turn into a welcome little refuge. In the heat of summer, it might seek the cool shade instead of the sun. During the breeding season, its visits may suddenly grow far more frequent and purposeful. It might begin carrying twigs, testing whether your ledge could become a nest. These seasonal shifts reveal the bird responding to its changing needs through the year. So the visits are never truly random, but tuned to weather, warmth, and survival. Watching across a whole year, you see a small life bending to the seasons. But here is the honest and important question: is it truly always the same bird? To us, most pigeons look almost identical, a confusing blur of gray and iridescence. So it is genuinely easy to assume one returning bird when it might be several. A genuinely good windowsill may attract many different pigeons, all drawn to the very same advantages. You might be seeing a rotation of several birds, not one loyal individual. This is exactly why slow and careful observation genuinely matters before you ever draw firm conclusions. So look closely for individual markings on the bird that visits your window. No two pigeons are truly identical once you really start to look closely. Notice the pattern of its feathers, the sheen of its neck, the color of its feet. Look for an odd marking, a missing feather, a scar, or an unusual eye. Once you can tell it apart, you can finally answer the question for yourself. You may find it truly is one bird, faithfully returning again and again. Or you may discover that your window simply hosts a quiet parade of visitors. Either answer is fascinating, and only patient watching can ever reveal the truth. Once you know your visitor, the next question is, what does it actually want? Most often, the honest answer is simply food, or the hope of finding some. A bird that was once fed will return for a very long time, hoping for more. Sometimes it simply wants the ledge itself as a safe and comfortable resting spot. It may be sunning itself, warming its feathers in the gentle morning light. It may be watching for danger, using your high ledge as a safe lookout. Or it may simply be resting, between the busy stops of its daily routine. If a nesting season arrives, it might even eye your ledge as a future home. Reading its true intent takes patience and a willingness to watch without assuming. Whatever it wants, it has clearly decided that your window is genuinely worth the trip. And that small decision quietly links your ordinary home to the wider life of the city. A single gray bird has folded your window into its private map of the world. If you enjoy these visits, there are gentle ways to observe without causing harm. First, simply watch quietly and let the bird grow used to your calm presence. Avoid sudden movements at the glass, which can startle and frighten the bird away. Resist the urge to grab or trap it, as wild birds need their freedom. Think carefully before feeding it, since regular feeding can create real dependence and a lot of mess. Too much food can draw large crowds of birds and quickly become a problem. If you do feed, keep it small, occasional, and never let it become a flood. Keep the ledge clean for both your own health and the bird's well-being. And never disturb a nest if one ever appears on or near your ledge. Mostly, just observe and enjoy the quiet privilege of a wild visitor's trust. Note the markings, the timing, and the behavior, and a real story slowly emerges. You begin to see not a generic pigeon, but a specific individual with a routine. So the bird at your window is not a random or meaningless little accident. It is a skilled navigator, a quiet mapmaker, and a creature of careful and deliberate habit. It has woven your window into a detailed mental map of its entire world. Out of a whole vast city, it chose to return to your small ledge. That is not love, it is not friendship, and it is not any kind of gift. It is something quieter, a small wild life, quietly overlapping with your own. Through memory, instinct, and habit, you have become a fixed point in its days. And once you truly understand all that, an ordinary little visit becomes quietly extraordinary. So I will leave you with one simple thing to watch for at your window. The next time your visitor lands, look closely and try to learn its markings. Watch when it arrives, where it perches, and exactly how long it chooses to stay. Tell me how long it has visited, and whether you believe it is truly one bird. And tell me what you think it wants: food, shelter, safety, or simply a quiet rest. Because that small gray visitor has quietly made your window a landmark in its world.